Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bill Gray Legion Stadium at Champion Car Wash Field. The site for today's matchup between the Roseburg Indians baseball team and the visiting Ida B. Wells Guardians. It's game 2 of the season for the Roseburg boys as we gear up for this matchup here today. Ida B. Wells comes in. This is their season opener. The team out of the Portland metropolitan area making the long trek down I-5 to join us here in the Umpqua Basin at Bill Gray Legion Stadium. Champion Car Wash Field. A very good afternoon to everybody. Welcome into the broadcast. I'm Joey Kieran. This is your Roseburg Disposal pregame show. You can let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Roseburg coming off of a tough one in their first game, a little bit undisciplined defensively. They commit a number of errors in that game, 5 to be exact. They give up a 6-2, a loss against West Salem, despite giving up no earned runs in that matchup. Roseburg did collect 4 hits in the game, just could not quite keep up with the runs they were giving away in that matchup. They'll look to try and polish things up a little bit here today as they take on the Guardians, a team that does start the season in the preseason coaches poll at number 9. Expected to be a good team out of the PIL. They finished second there last year, made it to the second round after before graduating 8 players off the team, including a couple of all-leaguers. But they do return a number of all-league players for this year's team. They could be someone to contend with in the state this year. Looking forward to the matchup here coming up as Roseburg and Wells get ready to square off. It's a beautifully sunny day here in the Umpqua Basin. Temperatures haven't quite warmed up yet as they are expected to here coming up into the weekend, but we are at 58 degrees with blue skies overhead, and we're looking forward to today's matchup. As we continue on with the pregame show, we're going to get an opportunity to hear from head coach Troy Thompson. That'll be coming up next as we continue the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. That's Roseburg Disposal. We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We come back and get a chance to hear from head coach Troy Thompson here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show, Roseburg Baseball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
When the first Cascade branch opened in 1948, things were a lot different here. The fact they're still here says a lot about the way they do business.
Staying in business for 75 years requires the cooperation of generations. It's the desire to learn and grow with your community.
My account number is only 5 digits long. What that tells me is that this is a local credit union.
Cascade Community Credit Union would like to thank you for 75 years of growth and support here in Douglas County.
Back here with more of our pregame show on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Pregame show brought to you by Roseburg Disposal. Joining us here is head coach Troy Thompson as Roseburg gets ready. Game 2, welcoming in Ida B. Wells out of the Portland area. Coach, well, how much do you feel like you learned about the team after one game under your belt so far this season?
Well, as much as you can learn, we learned it in one game. So there was some some good and some things we need to improve on for sure. So we try to focus on those things here yesterday in our practice time, and we'll see what happens as we come out here today.
You know, we've talked about how that it's a group that's a lot of guys getting those first moments. And do you feel like you noticed a little, maybe some kind of nerves or some tentativeness out of these guys as the game got underway? I'm sure as it went on, guys started to feel a little bit more normal. Remember, it's still just baseball, but did you notice any of that early on?
You know, I don't think that played a part of it. You know, our inability to make a couple of plays that we could have and hopefully will make in the future came back and obviously hurt us in the bottom line on Tuesday, but I don't think that was nerves or, you know, lack of experience. It's just lack of making that particular play at that particular time. So hopefully, you know, we experienced that and came out and played a 7-inning game and got to do it here at home. And hopefully we learn from that and understand a little bit about what goes into playing, you know, here at home and routine and some of those things. So we're back to it today, and we'll give it another go against another, you know, very good team, a very quality program up out of the Portland area, the old Wilson High School that's now out of B. Wells. We have some good history with them and have played them through the years, and it's always a pleasure for us to get them to come back down and get a chance to get on the field with them.
I know I've asked plenty of times through the years about how much you tinker with things here early on in the season. Sure. Only one game under your belt, so you know, I'm sure there's still a lot that you guys are trying to figure out in the dugout as a coaching staff. How much do you continue to try and maybe move some of the pieces around? Do you guys you have guys in positions you want them in, or do you try anybody anywhere new? You
know, we'll be a work in progress, I think, for a while for sure to do that. You know, we'll give some guys some opportunities that didn't have it on Tuesday, and today we'll see some different players in some different spots. And like I say, hopefully those guys come through in their moment here and come out on the positive side of things. But yeah, we're not set in any way, shape, or form, you know, lineup wise, and I think that's been true most of our years here. That, you know, you've got to have opportunities for players to play and to earn, like I say, opportunities to play more. So we're still in that process for sure. Obviously, game 2, you don't know, we don't have all the answers or many at all. So that'll be a real process, and we'll continue that here today.
You know, we get ready for it here, and I was just thinking that you guys are going to have opportunities to get out there on the field quite a bit. You guys got your first road trip coming up. You know, as you guys kind of work through here, is a week like this where you guys are busy. You're playing 3 games in a matter of 5 days. Right. Is that what you want right now? Is just opportunities these guys get out there, and then they can kind of, instead of in practice, they get an opportunity to show you kind of what they have out there on the field?
Well, absolutely. You know, we love to get on the field early, and with our field being what it is with the turf, to get teams to come down has been real easy here the last couple of years with the turf. And the more you can play, obviously, the more, you know, experience we get as we move forward and continue to work on what we need to work on. But yeah, we'd like to play. You know, tomorrow we get up and we get on a bus and head up to Portland and play Lake Oswego, another very good program and quality program for a long time. So, you know, everything we experience now hopefully is going to, you know, pay off for us or have benefit for us as the season progresses.
All right, look forward to it here today as Roseburg gets ready for Ida B. Wells in Game 2 of the season. Coach Troy Thompson joining us here. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Thanks, Joey.
And we get ready for today's matchup to get underway. Coaches meeting at home plate. We'll take our final 2-minute break here in the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. When we come back, we'll get you starting lineups and the opening pitch to today's ball game between Roseburg and Ida B. Wells on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Do I have enough money put away to retire?
Plan for your future with confidence. at Palm Wealth Management will help you see a clear path to financial peace of mind. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field on a beautiful sunny Thursday afternoon. Don't get a lot of Thursday ball games in on the schedule, but early season action, you tend to see some of these kind of matchups. It'll be the first of back-to-back days for Roseburg in action. Tomorrow they're on the road to Lake Oswego to take on the Lakers. And our plan is to be there for that one coming up for you tomorrow. All right, let's take a look at today's starting lineup for the visiting Ida B. Wells Guardians. The coaches are at home plate right now, going over the ground rules down there. Head coach Jeremy Shelter and the Wells Guardians, their season opener here, coming off of a season that saw them go 20-9 on the year. They finished 14-4 in the PIL, finishing in second place. They made it into the second round of the state playoffs, losing 14-3 a year ago. They did graduate 8 seniors, but they returned 5 all-league players from last year on this year's squad. Taking a look at the starting lineup for the Guardians, leading things off will be Griffin Scott at first base. Scott, oh boy, what a junior season it was for him. First-team All-League pitcher, the conference's co-pitcher of the year, and finished as a second-team All-League first baseman. He leads things off, followed by Quinn Dufour, the starting pitcher, a left-handed thrower. He was a first-team All-League outfielder and a second-team All-League pitcher. Cam Hammer is the catcher. He'll bat third, coming off of a second-team all-conference selection as a utility player. In the cleanup spot, Cody Rotello will be batting in the fourth position. Following that, Ian Colmer at third base, hitting fifth. Justin Weinberg, the second baseman, will bat sixth. Max Scherzer is in center field. He bats in the seventh spot. Lucas Laguerre, the shortstop, will bat eighth. And Shinyu Nakamura is the DH, batting in the 9th position. He'll hit for left fielder Cole Harris. That is a look at your starting lineup for the Ida B. Wells Guardians. Let's take a look at your starting defensive alignment for the Roseburg Indians as we get ready for the top of the first inning. On the mound will be right-hander Brevin Harrison. We saw him for 1 inning of work in the season opener on Tuesday, threw a total of 8 pitches. Didn't give up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts, so pretty fresh for him after 1 inning of work. Behind the plate is Amos Bowers. Out at first base, Keegan Carpenter makes his debut at the varsity level. Paxton Burke at second. On the left side of the diamond, Jake Johnson, the starting pitcher in Game 1 on Tuesday. He'll start at third base here today. Brooks Avery at shortstop. In the outfield from left to right, making his debut here on the season, Brayton Loomis in left field. Heath King will start in center. He started in left field in Game 1. And Dane St. Clair, who started in center in Game 1, is going to start in right field for the Indians here, Game 2 of the season. Roseburg wearing the home white jerseys. And on the road, grays with the offset trim of green for Wells. Get things started here right about on time. In fact, it's going to be pretty much 4:30 as the first pitch comes in. It will be Harrison against Griffin Scott to start things off as we get this one underway. Game 1 of the season for Wells. We'll see what the Guardians have in store for this year. Out of the windup for Harrison. First pitch swinging. That ball belted out of play and out of the stadium towards the dirt parking lot down the right field side here at Champion Car Wash Field. And just like that, 4:30, we are underway. First pitch in. 0-1 count to start off for Scott. Harrison delivers a breaking ball, ended up low. Perry Tilton behind the plate, calling balls and strikes for Roseburg here today. Home plate right now in the shadows, the mound in the bright sun. The 1-1. That ball fouled away again. So Griffin Scott so far has gotten a piece of a couple of pitches, but has not been able to square one up. A ball and 2 strikes. Looking to try and record that first out. Here is Harrison. That ball in the air goes right side. Sun field out that direction. Second baseman Paxton Burke, though, there to control that one. The second baseman going out for the catch in shallow right field. So one away for Roseburg here in the top of the first. That'll bring up the lefty, Quinn Dufour. He slaps at the first pitch, fouls it down the third base side. Sharply hit there by Dufour. Dufour, this season a senior, listed at 6'3". Couple of D1 college baseball prospects on this roster for Wells, I've been told. The 0-1 pitch. Just outside, a 1-1 count. Harrison going back to a 1-1 delivery here for Dufour. Breaking ball, that in for a called strike. So first at bat, second at bat have worked a bit similar. Start off with a strike, get to a 1-2 count. The 1-2 pitch. Ooh, just outside. Count goes even at 2-2. Harrison's 2-2 delivery. Ground ball comebacker goes right back up the middle. Past the feet of Harrison on the mound. Sharply hit ball there for Dufour. First base hit of the ball game for the Guardians. On at first base, 1 out, 1 on. Cam Hammer, the catcher, bats third. Double play opportunity here for Roseburg. They did not turn 2 in that season opener on Tuesday. Seen this team do that a lot through the years. The first pitch, swung on and missed with the breaking ball. Hammer, the catcher here today, also can play in the infield. He was a utility guy last year and earning second team honors because of it. Up the middle, Brooks Avery, the senior captain on the infield. Swing and a miss at shortstop. Avery, really looking forward to seeing what his senior season has in store for him. And he's smooth out there at shortstop. He's an experienced guy at the position, and we'll see if he can help initiate some double plays this year for Roseburg. 0-2 pitch here for Hammer. And stepping off is Harrison. Working out of the stretch with Dufour at first. After his ground ball back up the middle. The 0-2 pitch just outside. Top of the first inning, scoreless ball game so far as we're just underway here from Champion Car Wash Field. All artificial turf on the field. There's a pickoff throw to first. Not quite in time. As a close one, a tag applied by Carpenter. Diving back in went Dufour, who had a sizable lead out there, but his long frame gets him back to the bag in time. The 1-2 pitch. Popped him up. Foul territory, first base side for Carpenter. The first baseman reaching up and make the grab. Keegan Carpenter, the senior, making his debut there at first. And he makes that play in foul territory. 2 down.
Next batter, right fielder number 5, Cody Rolito.
Harrison is looking to get through this first inning, leaving a man stranded. Cody Roletto will bat. The right fielder hits in the cleanup position. Roletto, a junior. Runner going, and the ball fouled back. One away, or 2 away, and there is an 0-1 count for Roletto. Dufour took off from first. Big body out there at 6'3", but he got up and moving pretty good. The 0-1 pitch here for Roletto. Ground ball, third base side, just fouled down that line. Diving for it was Jake Johnson as the ball maybe a foot into foul territory as it goes by the third base bag and rolls into the corner out in left field. Down the lines, 320 here at Champion Car Wash Field, 385 to dead center field. Home of Roseburg baseball during the spring, Umpqua Valley Christian baseball, the 1A school here in the Umpqua Basin, as well as Umpqua Community College, the junior college program here in Roseburg. In the dirt, a nice job behind the plate by Bowers. Short hops that one into the glove. 1-2 count for Roletto. So busy ballpark during the spring season, busy during the summer with American Legion Baseball, 4 programs sharing the field. A 1-2 pitch, runner going again, another foul ball at the plate for Roletto. Off the hands that time. So back to first goes Dufour. All artificial turf, the base paths, the mound, the plate, the warning track, foul territory, outfield, it's all artificial. Holds up well to the conditions. A little bit elevated on the 1-2 pitch there from Harrison. 2-2 count with 2 down and a man at first. Top of the first inning. Two count. The cleanup man, Roletto, at the plate. Doesn't chase the breaking ball, ends up at the shins. He's got himself a full count. He's battled his way back in. The Wells Guardians starting the season at number 9 in the preseason OSAA 6A coaches poll. 3-2 delivery, right field, out to St. Clair, and Dane is there to make the catch, battling the sun. No problem for him with the shades down. Roseburg will retire Wells here in the first inning. 4 up, 3 down. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the first inning. And Roseburg coming up to bat. We'll take a look at their starting lineup when we come back on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
The Roseburg Indians coming up to bat here in the bottom of the first. Taking a look at the starting lineup for head coach Troy Thompson and the Roseburg boys. It'll be Brooks Avery, the senior, leading things off, starting at shortstop. Paxton Burke, the second baseman, batting second. Jake Johnson at third base will bat third. In right field, the batting cleanup, Dane St. Clair. Camden Hartzell, the DH, bats fifth. He'll hit for starting pitcher Brevin Harrison. Braden Loomis in left field bats in the sixth spot in the lineup. Keegan Carpenter at first base will bat seventh. Amos Bowers is the catcher, batting eighth. And rounding out the starting 9 will be center fielder Heath King. That's a look at today's starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians. Meanwhile, on the mound for this Wells program, it's Quinn Dufour who will be out there. A left-hander, mentioned, 6'3", long frame. So that'll come at a pretty good angle there from the mound with that height and those long arms. And from the left-handed slot, Dufour is there in the on the mound. He'll be throwing into Cam Hammer, who's behind the plate, catching the battery mate for the Wells Guardians. Leading things off, Brooks Avery to start things off. First pitch, swung on and missed. Strike one, and we're underway here in the bottom of the first. A scoreless ball game for us so far. Around the diamond, we'll get you a look at the defensive starters for the Guardians here coming up. 0-1 pitch, squaring and pulling the bat back. Avery has a 1-1 count. Behind the plate, we mentioned Hammer out at first base, Griffin Scott, Justin Weinberg at second. In the left side of the diamond, it's Ian Colmer at third and Lucas Laguerre at short. Foul tip into the glove for strike two for Avery. In the outfield from left to right, Cole Harris, Max Scherzer, and Cody Roletto, your starting defensive alignment for the Guardians, who already have a right-hander thrown in the bullpen. The 1-2 pitch hits the outside corner for strike three. Froze Brooks, who watches that one go by. One away, first strikeout in the game for Quinn Dufour. It'll bring up Paxton Burke. Coach Troy Thompson telling me that in his conversation with head coach Jeremy Shelter for the Guardians, they might use a few arms here today. Is the ball in the air, going to sail out there to the center fielder straight away. Max Scherzer. Nowhere to go, but camp right underneath that one pretty much. Burke retired for the second out, makes contact, puts it in play, but it goes right to the center fielder. Jake Johnson will bat. Activity done in the bullpen already for Wells. Jake starting at third base. Had a pretty good start on the mound in game one, but unfortunately unearned runs came back to haunt the Indians in that one. First pitch swing and a miss for Jake. Jake looking for his first hit of the season. He takes outside. But first game of the year, a couple of decent arms on this Wells club, and so they're apparently looking to try and get some guys in and get them some work here early on. As a ground ball, hard hit towards short, scooped up by Laguerre, and it's misplayed at first. Heading for second will go Johnson. That ball bounces off the fence in front of the first base dugout. And that'll be a runner at second base for Roseburg. An error on the,
Next batter, right fielder number 13, Dane.
Gonna say on the shortstop. Error on the play. The stretch at first by Griffin Scott was a little off. It looked like he stretched maybe a little too early. But I guess the throw maybe a little off the mark there by Laguerre, and that had Scott stretched out pretty good at first. St. Clair at the plate now. The lefty takes a healthy cut at the first offering he sees from the lefty Dufour. St. Clair with a hit in game one. One of four hits in the game for Roseburg, all of them singles. So Roseburg looking for their first extra base hit of the year, or an extra base hit, or even possibly a base hit here. Brings in a run, could bring in a run for Roseburg if it's just a single. Kind of depends on where that ball goes and how quick Jake Johnson can get off of second base out there. He takes his lead. Dufour giving him a long look, throws in. That ball hit to left field. It's going to carry enough out there for left fielder Cole Harris. He made a few steps in, ended up making a jumping catch to get to that baseball. Looked like it was going to maybe almost carry over his head, but not quite enough. Roseburg does a nice job of swinging and making contact here in the first inning, but they cannot bring in a run from second. We're scoreless after one inning of play. We go to the top of the second on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Top of the second inning, Ian Colmer will lead things off against Brevin Harrison. First pitch outside corner for a strike from Harrison. Colmer, Weinberg, and Scherzer, your three batters due up here in the second for the Guardians. Scoreless ball game. Another strike on the outer half. Like a statue at the plate, Colmer watches it go by. 0-2 count to start. Working from ahead, Harrison winds and fires. Can't get the hitter to chase low and outside. Roseburg Sports here on The Score this season, brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Breaking ball ends up in the dirt. 2-2 count as Colmer is back into the at-bat. Been disciplined, has not chased any of the pitches outside the zone by Harrison. The 2-2 swung on and missed. Pops out of the glove for Bowers. Sends it down to Carpenter at first. Keegan, I got worried there for a moment the sun was going to blind him down there, but he made a stab, got that ball in the glove. He may have seen it in the whole way, but it looked like he reacted late. Nonetheless, you love to see that he makes the play. And there's a strikeout, first in the game for Harrison. First pitch, swing and a miss by Justin Weinberg. That's a strikeout, first of the game for Harrison. And then the throw down to first for the out. All strikeouts this season by Roseburg pitchers. Brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. When disaster strikes, it's good to have someone you can trust on your side. Call Chris with State Farm at 541-672-3301. Or you can visit chrisinsures.com for a quote today. A little low on the 1-1 offering from Harrison. It's a 2-1 count. Weinberg digs in with nobody on, one away. Grounds one foul, chopped it down the third base line. Evens things up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, men's basketball tournament going on. The Ducks and the Bruins in the Pac-12 tournament quarterfinal round. Oregon hanging on to a 1-point lead at the moment. 2-2 pitch. Fouled away to the on-deck circle. Jumping out of the way goes Max Scherzer. There's 4 seconds left. Oregon leading 68-66 now against UCLA. That game is finishing up over on our news partner, News Radio 93.9 FM at 1240 KQEN. Ground ball up the middle. Nice bounding baseball to the second baseman. Burke fields and fires over to Carpenter. 2 down. Base is empty, 2 away. Up to bat, the 7-hitter, Max Scherzer. And yes, he does share the name with the Major League Baseball pitcher, Max Scherzer. I was going to double check to see if the spellings are completely the same. The Max Scherzer at the plate right now has a C in his name, S-C-H. So he takes a pitch outside, left-handed batter. The 1-0. Just outside with the breaking ball. 2-0 count. Delivery from Harrison. Swing and a miss out of Scherzer for strike 1. It is the same spelling, pretty much the exact same spelling. Max Scherzer, the 39-year-old in Major League Baseball. Outside for the probably, let's see. Wells's Max Scherzer is a junior, so 16-year-old, 17-year-old maybe out there. 3-1 pitch. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Tried to time it up there, did the Wells center fielder. 3-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Got him another strikeout. A tag applied And that will finish off the frame. A nice outing there in the second for Brevin Harrison. Strikes out 2, and it's a 1-2-3 frame through the mid portion of the lineup for the Wells Guardians. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. An inning and a half into this one. Go to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless between Roseburg and Wells on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Well, of course, you hear a name like Max Scherzer on a roster, and you can't help but think about. He's currently with the Texas Rangers. Max Scherzer from Major League Baseball. So this has led me down a little bit of a rabbit hole. We will discuss and dissect here as we go through this second inning. Roseburg coming up to bat with Camden Hartzell facing Quinn Dufour, the lefty on the mound. Dufour misses just outside with his first pitch to Hartzell, who had one of those 4 hits on Tuesday for Roseburg against West Salem in that 6-2 loss. 1-0 pitch from Dufour. Rears back and fires in another fastball, missing just outside, and he falls behind against Hartzell 2-0. Camden Hartzell DHing today, hitting for Harrison. High and away, 3-0 count, working out in front here for Hartzell to start things off. Roseburg with a base runner in the first inning after a throwing error on a ground ball to short. Hartzell takes the 3-0 for a strike on the outside half. Dufour continues to try and work that outer half of the plate. He pumped in that fastball. Swing and a miss. Hartzell on the outer half had to try and fight that one off, could not connect. Roseburg putting 3 balls in play in that first inning. The 3-2, high and away. There's ball 4, and a leadoff walk issued for Camden Hartzell. Brings up Brayton Loomis. So Max Scherzer has been in the league for a while. He's 39 years old, closing in on 40 here soon. So we were kind of guessing a junior for the center fielder, Max Scherzer, for the Wells Guardians. Puts him about 16, 17 years old, somewhere in that range, which means probably born in 2007, 2008. As a throw in, swing and a miss, throw down to first, back in safely will go Hartzell after a big secondary lead at first base. Swing and a miss by Loomis at the plate. He'll have an 0-1 count with nobody out and a man at first. So what's lasted longer, Max Scherzer's professional career or the lifespan of center fielder Max Scherzer? I wonder if he would know the answer to that one. As a ball hit out towards Scherzer, having to drive in, and it goes off the end of his glove. They're going to have to get to the baseball quickly. They'll throw to second. The ball goes wide of second base, and everybody will be safe. Roseburg dodges one there. A tough one for Hartzell at first, figuring that ball was going to be caught. Charging in, Scherzer from center field goes off the end of his glove. Kind of got caught trying to figure out whether that ball was going to carry to him or if he had to charge in enough. One of those ones where it's right at eye level and it's coming right at you, and it's hard to tell exactly how far it's going to go. Goes off the end of his glove. Left fielder Cole Harris backs up the play, and they had a chance to get a force out on Hartzell at second. But the throw went wide of the bag, is showing a bunt low and inside for ball 1 here to Keegan Carpenter. So the throw back in from Harris wide of the bag. Otherwise, if it was on target, they probably had Hartzell on the force out at second, but he was able to get in with the throw, missing the bag. So another error for Wells. Roseburg runners at first and second, nobody out, looking to bunt, puts it down third base side. That's a pretty good bunt, race to third. And in time, Dufour will get there for the force out. The bunt went third base side by Carpenter, almost a pretty decent bunt, but the long arms for Dufour, he gets there, gloves it, and instead of trying to flip it to Colmer at third base, he just a foot race to get to the bag, steps on it just ahead of the slide by Hartzell. One away, still first and second for Roseburg. Amos Bowers will bat. Roseburg trying to see if they can get the lead here in the second. They put some pressure on against the Guardians. The first pitch in the dirt for ball one. So fielder's choice puts Carpenter in his first varsity at-bat of the year. And fielder's choice gets him on after that bunt. Up to second base goes Loomis. Out at third was Hartzell. So to finish the thought there about Max Scherzer, the center fielder and major league pitcher, the pitcher from the Texas Rangers right now made his debut on April 29th of 2008. So Max Scherzer's major league career has been about as long as the lifespan of center fielder Max Scherzer for the Wells Guardians. Breaking ball slices into the right-handed hitter for a strike to Amos Bowers. 1-1 count, one out. Haven't seen Bowers show a bunt as of yet. We'll see if he changes up the strategy here with one out. Defense playing to hold on the runner at second. Bowers takes outside, maybe a little low on that one. 2-1 count. So my thought initially was, did his parents name him with the last name Scherzer? Did they name him after the pitcher in Major League Baseball? Were they big fans? It's a 2-1 pitch. Misses. 3-1 count. But with Wells center fielder Max Scherzer being born right around the time that the major league pitcher made his debut, it feels like that'd be too early. The timing doesn't quite fit for me. There's ball four. A second walk issued by Dufour here in the frame. That's two total in the game. And Amos Bowers draws the walk, loads the bases, just one out. And it'll bring up the nine-hitter Heath King to hit for Roseburg. Coming in to run at first, Caden Austin for Roseburg, the junior, making his first appearance on the day. So anyways, this is why I love the sport of baseball, is you get time, a little bit of time in between some of the action to think about these finer things in the game, about whether or not a junior for a high school baseball team was named after a probably 16-year Major League veteran. I should check the YouTube channel here. Today's game is streaming with video online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel, just in case you were curious. You can watch the game streaming there on YouTube. And hit the subscribe button to make sure you're able to follow Roseburg High Sports throughout this school year. I was figuring I probably should double check and make sure that somebody hasn't chimed in and told me the answer to some of my questions about Wells's Wells's Max Scherzer. All right, here we go. One out, bases loaded, nine-hitter, a lefty, Heath King at the plate, taking a breaking ball that slides away from King into the right-handed batter's box for ball one. Nowhere to put a runner. And there's high and away from Dufour to go to a 2-0 count. Roseburg an opportunity to try and grab an early lead here. A couple of errors in this game so far for Wells. A 2-0 pitch. Inner half, right above the belt buckle for King. Give him a 2-1 count. King looking to try and put a ball in play, swings through the strike two pitch, and Dufour battles his way back. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. There is strike three. King watches it go by. He got fooled with the slider. Hits the outside corner. Second strikeout in the ball game for Dufour, and it'll send it back to the top of the order for Roseburg. Brooks Avery to bat. 2 down, and it's an RBI opportunity. Has been for a little while for Roseburg here. Let's see if the senior can step up and drive one in. Takes the first pitch, outside corner for a strike. Avery struck out looking in the first. 0-1 count. Dufour trying to pitch his way out of the jam. Ball fouled away for strike 2. Hit to the on-deck circle. Avery did have a hit in the game against West Salem back on Tuesday. He's got an 0-2 count here. Now he's got to protect. He'll take high and away. And Dufour really got behind that one. Could hear him kind of let out a small little grunt as he let that one go, trying to get the snap off on that pitch. He sets up for the 1-2. Another breaking ball, that one up near the eyeballs for Avery. 2-2 count. Brooks will stand back in. Had plenty of big hits last year for Roseburg. Avery had 13 RBI. Foul tips one into the glove for strike 3, and that will do it. Roseburg, a big opportunity, unable to cash in. Another strikeout for Avery. Third in the game for Dufour. And he pitches out of a bases-loaded jam. No runs. There were no hits. There was 1 error. And 3 runners left on base. A couple of walks, an error, and Roseburg cannot capitalize. Top of the third, scoreless between Roseburg and Ida B. Wells on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
First batter for the Guardians in the top of the 3rd inning, shortstop, number 22, Lucas Lagar.
Top of the 3rd inning, scoreless ball game, Roseburg and Ida B. Wells. First pitch, chopped, third base side, diving attempt by Jake Johnson. Throw to first in time for the out. Well, welcome back to the action here. First pitch of the frame. A headfirst dive by Johnson at third, comes up with the stab, throws across the diamond, and makes the play for the out. What a move by Jake Johnson. That will retire Lucas Laguerre to start things off. Didn't get a chance to introduce him there. That went so quick. Laguerre, the shortstop, out 5-3 here in the 3rd. Up the bat, now the 9-hitter, a lefty in Shinyu Nakamura. Takes outside from Brevin Harrison into his 3rd inning of work. 2-0 count. Nakamura DHing for left fielder Cole Harris. Takes high and away, 3-0 count. The 3-0 pitch. That time will catch the outside edge for a strike. The 3-1, foul tipped by Nakamura. And the at-bat will continue on here for Harrison. The full count pitch is low. First walk issued by Brevin Harrison. And it sends us back to the top of the order with a man at first, 1 away. This top of the order, dangerous. Griffin Scott will bat.
Number 12, Griffin Scott.
Stand in. He Popped out into shallow right field. Pickoff throw to first base, almost there in time. Griffin Scott popping out to right field, the second baseman underneath it for that play. First pitch to him here. He squares to bunt. We'll pull it back, throw down to second base. Got him. Second base umpire up the middle there. The throw beat him. Cutting in front was Avery to apply the tag. I wasn't sure if he had cut it short a little too much and whether or not he actually got the tag on Nakamura, but the call is out, and that is your second out. Clears the bases at the plate. That one was in the dirt for ball one. I think it is 1-1 our count on Griffin Scott. I thought it had been a strike when he showed that bunt. So Amos Bowers cutting down the runner, trying to steal second. At the plate, swing and a miss out of Griffin Scott. There's 2 down. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded towards the Roseburg dugout down the third base side, foul. Brevin Harrison trying to get through the third inning with this game still scoreless. His 2-strike pitch to Griffin Scott. Bounces in front of the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. We're in the top of the third of this one. Today's game brought to you by Dr. Lanson Randall. 2-2 pitch. Misses low. Dr. Randall providing family and cosmetic dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call him at 541-378-6694. Full count pitch. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. Scott was ready to head to first. Instead, he's headed to the dugout to grab his glove. That'll wrap up the top of the third inning. Another 1-2-3 frame there for Brevin Harrison. After allowing a walk, a runner cut down trying to steal. That helps make it a 1-2-3 inning. Still scoreless going to the bottom of the third here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller. When businesses were local and gave back to the community. At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Coming back for the bottom of the third, still scoreless between the Guardians and the Indians as we get ready for the bottom of the third inning. Let's go ahead and get in a chance for a legal ID as we are just past the top of the hour here. Pause 10 seconds for station identification. Roseburg baseball here on the Score.
Go to the bottom of the third inning, the first batter, number 15, Paxton Burke.
Up to bat for Roseburg. Paxton Burke will lead things off. He takes one in the zone for strike 1 to begin things from Quinn Dufour, who's out there for his third inning of work. The 0-1 just outside. I was waiting to see if there was a strike call coming there. That pitch looked like the outside corner, but I've got a bit of a side angle here from behind home, so sometimes I miss those. Swing and a miss by Burke. Speaking of missing, he can't connect on that slider into the right-hander. So the University of Oregon men's basketball team moving on to the semifinals of the Pac-12 men's basketball tournament tomorrow. So 1-2 pitch outside. behind the plate, trying to frame that one. Hammer can't pull it back in far enough. The Ducks will be taking on top seed Arizona in the semifinals tomorrow at 5 o'clock from Las Vegas. Ground ball right side, fighting off the two-strike pitch. Bounding ball to second base, picked up by Weinberg over to Scott. One down for Roseburg as Burke will ground out. 0 for 2 on the day for him. Jake Johnson made a great defensive play in this game at third base to start things off in the top of the third. The junior will stand in, looking to get his first hit of the day. He swings at a breaking ball that ended up in the dirt, skips away from the catcher. If you want to tune in for that game coming up tomorrow, you can catch the Ducks on our news partner, News Radio, 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN. Pregame will start at 4:30. Foul back by Johnson into the netting behind home. 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away with nobody on as we start the bottom of the third inning. High and away, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, did some digging. Griffin Scott, the first baseman for this Wells team, looks to be a University of Utah baseball commit. The pitch outside, 2-2, 4-4 against Jake Johnson. Apparently in the class of 2024, Griffin Scott ranked number 7 by the Prep Baseball Report, I believe it is, the Oregon rankings for Prep Baseball Report. Ranked number 7 in the state for the class of 2024. Not too shabby there for the Wells first baseman. 3-2 pitch here for Jake Johnson. Battled his way back in. He'll take high and away for ball 4. On the mound, Quinn DeFore. The big lefty throws pretty hard, has some good movement on his pitches, but he has struggled a little bit with some of his accuracy at times. Lets that one sail a little high, and he issues his 3rd walk of the ball game. A man at first with 1 out. Heart of the lineup up here for Roseburg as Dane St. Clair, the lefty, digs in. Dane takes high and away, ball 1. Dane flew out to left field on a hard line drive to left field. There was a low flying fly ball out there. Having to make a jumping catch was Cole Harris. His pickoff throw to first base, not in time for Jake. Gets back in safely. DeFore, the lefty, quick move that direction, but Jake not a huge lead and read it correctly. Throw to the plate. Carries outside with the slider. Can't get St. Clair to chase after that one. Dane, if you tune in on the radio broadcast, you'll hear the open to the ball game, and Dane has a highlight in that one. The 2-0 pitch is high. Count goes to 3-0. Dane came up with his first varsity hit in I think it was the final game of the regular season, a win over North Medford. 3-0 pitch. He was taken all the way on that one, kind of fell out of the box. Was either expecting a walk or was just willing to give up the strike. 3-1 pitch here for St. Clair with 1 out. Jake Johnson at first. Dane swings through it. But he came up with that big hit. It was his first varsity hit, and it was a game winner over North Medford. That feels pretty good, I'm sure. Made for a good highlight for the opening. 3-2 pitch. Swing, and he got a piece of it into the glove for strike 3. So St. Clair goes down. That is strikeout number 4 on the day
Number 8, Camden Hartzell.
for Quinn DeFore. 2 down. Camden Hartzell will bat. Still at first base, Jake Johnson. Pickoff throw to first, and safely goes Jake. Today's game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Throw into Hartzell is high. We've seen activity in the bullpen from time to time. Now we're seeing a couple of players heading that direction for Wells. Have not noticed any activity in the bullpen for Roseburg here in this one so far. I think it's by design for Wells that they are wanting to try and get a few guys into this one. Looks like heading down there to start throwing a little bit is Henry Stoyanov, who was a first-team All-PIL relief pitcher last year. It's a 1-0 count after a meeting on the mound between the catcher Hammer and the pitcher Dufour. And the result is a strike belt level high on the inside half against Hartzell. 1-1 count. Cam drew a walk in the second inning. Goes right side. He'll have the first hit of the game for Roseburg. Into second base goes Jake Johnson, and Camden Hartzell has a hit in the first 2 games of the season for Roseburg. Just fought off the outside pitch, takes it the opposite direction, drops it in front of Cody Roletto in right field. And that is a 2-out single to right. Jake Johnson moves to second. 2 on. 2 away. Brayton Loomis, his first game this season, takes high for ball 1. Loomis reached on an error by the center fielder in the second inning. Fouled away, and that'll be a 1-1 count here for Loomis in the bottom of the third. One count, 2 down. Sun shining here at Champion Car Wash Field. Trying to judge a fastball, it looked like to me. Strike called. Not a breaking ball, at least, for Dufour. Hits the outside corner. 1-2 pitch. Loomis off the hands. Dribbles a slow one towards second. Picked up. Throw to first. Loomis did everything he could to beat out that one, but ends up tumbling past the bag and unable to beat out the throw. That'll wrap up the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Brayton Loomis grounds out 4-3 to finish it off for Roseburg here in the third. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're still scoreless heading to the fourth on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
First batter for the Guardians at the top of the fourth inning, number 21, Quinn Duford.
Top of the fourth, 2-3-4 hitters coming up. For Wells, a hard hit. One hopper makes its way all the way to second base where Paxton Burke is ready. Backhands and fires over to Carpenter to retire Quinn Dufour on the first pitch of the frame. Dufour 1 for 2 in the game now. He's hit a couple of hard hit balls. But this time fielded up the middle at second base. That is 2 straight innings where the first pitch of the frame results in a hard hit ground ball. And a nice play made by a Roseburg infielder. First it was Jake Johnson in the third, and here in the fourth it's Paxton Burke making a good play. First pitch, strike 1 called against Cam Hammer. Takes in the dirt, a 1-1 count. One delivery. Ground ball high, hopper off the turf, down to the third base coach's box for shelter. Swing and a miss on the 2-strike pitch, and that'll be another strikeout for Brevin Harrison on the mound. That's his 4th in the game. All strikeouts this season by Roseburg pitchers are brought to you by Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance. When disaster strikes, it's good to have someone you can trust on your side. Call Chris with State Farm at 541-672-3301 or visit Chris Insures for chrisinsures.com for a free quote today. Pitch in the dirt for Cody Roletto. He's the cleanup batter. The 1-0. Ground ball hit hard, third base side. Once again, it's Johnson. Sends it over to Carpenter, and it's a clean frame once again for Roseburg defensively. After game 1 on Tuesday, where Roseburg's defense had some issues with playing the ball cleanly, here today they are doing pretty well. 1-2-3 frame there for Brevin Harrison in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Scoreless between Roseburg and Wells here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
We'll have our first call to the pen in today's ball game. Ida Wells will make a change. They go to the bullpen, where they will bring in the guy we were talking about in the last half inning, Henry Stoyanov, the senior right-hander, first-team All-League relief pitcher last year as a junior. He'll take over for Quinn DeFore. So Quinn will go 3 innings in this one. Gave up just the 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts for the lefty. So Stoyanov get a chance to try and get his arm up and running for the season. As mentioned, we expected that Wells might use a few different guys throughout this one, and where in a normal situation they might have let DuFour continue to throw. But they want to get some work in some guys. Season opener for Wells here today. Second game of the season for Roseburg, looking for their first win. Pitch outside, ball 1, issued to Keegan Carpenter, who's been looking good at first base so far, receiving over there. Hasn't had to really field. He made 1 play in foul territory. He chops it to third base, picked up on the high hop, throw to first a little high, but back onto the bag. Coming back down on the bag there, Griffin Scott, after the throw by Colmer at third. Looking around the diamond here real quick through the binoculars, which, yes, I did remember today. Remembered the binoculars, remembered the cord, and we got to play the pregame interview for Coach Thompson. First pitch, a strike called against Amos Bowers with 1 out and nobody on. Bowers drew a walk his first time up. He'll take a strike on a breaking ball there from Stoyanov. 0-2 pitch coming up. Breaking ball just a little high. So before 3 innings worked, he will exit without a decision in this one, with the game being tied 0-0. Low and outside for Stoyanov. Bowers walked, and that loaded the bases back in the 2nd inning. He was left at first base, though, that frame. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, and look at that. It is Amos Bowers in the 8th spot, picking up a base knock to get on. Roseburg's 2nd hit of the game, and the new man on the mound, Stoyanov, gives up a hit in his 1st inning of work. So Roseburg now with 2 hits in the game. That makes it a combined 3 hits total in this one between the two clubs. Man on at first, 1 away. Heath King, the 9 batter, will stand in. The first pitch lays down a bunt, third base side, but it will just go foul. Caden Austin came in to run for Bowers once again. Courtesy runner for the catcher. King will have strike 1 against him on that sacrifice bunt attempt. Oh, 1 count. Stoyanov, the righty, delivers. Breaking ball drops at the top of the zone for a called strike. The 0-2, missing low and inside to the lefty. Back into the box for Heath King, the 9 hitter. Is 1-2 count. Waits on the pitch from the righty. Runner going. Ground ball right side. It's picked up by the first baseman. Tagging the bag will be Scott at first for the out. And I saw the reaction from first base coach Tim Sester. At second base, Caden Austin. He took off running. He won't get credited for a stolen base. He gets himself into scoring position, and because he took off early, it avoided a possible double play opportunity there for Wells. The ground ball goes to Scott at first. He tags the bag, and it looked like Austin must have turned and looked back to first, thinking maybe it had been a foul ball and he needed to head back to the bag. And Coach Sester said, hey, no, stay on second base. You're there safely. We need you there. So 2 down, top of the order here. Brooks Avery looking to get going after strikeouts in his first 2 at-bats against Quinn DeFore. Face Henry Stoyanov for the first time. Breaking ball, misses a bit inside. Stoyanov, another big thrower. Got a 1-0 pitch here to Avery. Avery takes at the knees on the inner half for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike. We've got 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Roseburg threatening once again, but they haven't been able to come through yet. Still scoreless in this one. The 1-1 delivery swung on and missed by Avery. Henry Stoyanov needs 1 more strike here. The 1-2. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, is the appeal down to first. That looks like Tom Nelson, our at first base, umpiring for us here today. Behind the plate again, Perry Tilton back there. 2-2 pitch. Out at second base would be the go-ahead run. That's Caden Austin. That ball in the air fouled out of play by Avery. And while he didn't get that one in for a base hit, might be nice for him. He has kind of struggled a little bit to put the ball in play. So he's looking to try and make some contact. Nice to see the barrel get the ball a little bit, even if it's a foul ball. Runner going, ball popped up. That's foul territory. Could be playable for Scott. Up to the fence, just over the other side. Boy, if he had gotten to the fence a little bit earlier, he might have been able to try and climb it and get over. That ball did not get out of play by much, but he was cautious and careful and made his way to the fence line, but the ball just out of play. Running was Austin. He'll head back to second. 2-2 pitch once again here for Brooks Avery. Breaking ball, he's out in front of that, pulls it just foul. Stoyanov on his X profile, listed at 6'2", 210 pounds. Does not have a college commitment listed as of yet, so I'm sure he's looking for a place to play once he graduates. As a throwback to second base, not in time. Stoyanov is a senior. It's back out there with the 2-2 pitch coming up here for Avery. Stoyanov. Ooh. Ooh. That must have gotten the bat. The way it sounded, boy, that I was worried would have hurt. But it hits the end of the nub of the bat for Brooks Avery. He shook off his hand a little bit. And so it's going to be a foul ball instead of a hit by pitch. And that is the second game in a row that Roseburg's had that happen. An inside pitch hitting the nub of the bat underneath the hands for a foul ball. That happened in game one, happens again here today. 2-2 for Stoyanov. Breaking ball, fought off that one off the front foot for Avery, and the battle will continue. Big moment here for Roseburg, looking to try and bring in the first run of the game. The 2-2 pitch. Stoyanov checks second. Outside with his fastball. That might have been his changeup there. Outside for a 3-2 count. Looks like last season for Stoyanov, according to his X account, a 1.13 ERA, 32 strikeouts, 25 and 2/3 innings out of the bullpen, 2 wins, 5 saves, a sub .7 whip. 3-2 pitch, right side, that gets through into right field. Coming around third is Austin. The throw coming to the plate. It will not be in time. In with the slide. Safely goes Austin. That was tight right there. The tag attempt by the catcher, Cam Hammer. He just didn't hang on to the baseball. If he did, I wouldn't want to be the guy that had to make that call. But Roseburg gets an RBI. That will be an RBI single, advancing to second for Avery on the throw. Avery comes up with his first hit in the game. That's hits in his first 2 games of the season. And he drives in Caden Austin running for Amos Bowers, the catcher. And it puts Roseburg on top 1-0 here in the 4th. Whew. Tight play at home, but Austin just ahead of the tag, and the ball gets away. Outside for a 1-0 count to Paxton Burke. Burke 0 for 2. He's put the ball in play twice. I think even if Hammer hangs onto the ball, I think that Austin would have been safe. It looked like his hand got in there just before the glove. It's a line drive, drops into left field down the line for Burke. He goes opposite field, coming in to score is Avery. Another run in, a double, first extra base hit of the season for the Indians. Paxton Burke comes up with a 2-out RBI double down the left field line, and Roseburg will build a 2-0 lead on top of Wells. That is 3 hits here in this 4th inning for Roseburg off of the reliever, Henry Stoyanov. Jake Johnson will bat. He's 0 for 1, reached on an error, reached on a walk. Out at second base is Paxton Burke after his RBI double. Brooks Avery coming around to score on that one after his RBI single. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, cuts in for a strike. Both RBI hits there. Avery, a right-handed hitter, goes opposite field to right field. And then for Paxton Burke, a left-handed hitter, he goes opposite field to left field. And that ball inside the chalk line by maybe 3 feet at most. 0-1 pitch, Stoyanov, breaking ball, grounded third base side, just foul. Backhanded by Colmer down the line. So Johnson will have the 0-2 count coming up. (0-2) count. Stoyanov trying to get through the 4th inning. This is his 6th batter faced. The 0-2 pitch. Johnson pops it up. Might be playable in foul territory this time for Scott. He works his way into the shadows, stays underneath it, tracks the baseball for the out. 3rd out, but Roseburg sends 6 to the plate. They score 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 1 man left on base for the Indians. We go to the top of the 5th. Roseburg leading this one 2-0 on top of Wells. Back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in the backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Roseburg builds a 2-0 lead in the 4th inning against Wells. Line drive shot carries all the way to center field where Heath King races in to make a catch shoulder high. And once again, that's 3 straight innings where Wells has started off swinging at the first pitch, hits it hard, but Roseburg comes up with a defensive play. Ian Colmer on that one, swinging immediately, flies out, and Brevin Harris on the mound has 1 away here in the 5th. Breaking ball low and outside to Justin Weinberg, who is the 6th hitter in the lineup. He grounds one up the middle. Brooks Avery charging in. A nice high bounding baseball for him. Avery, the right-hander, fires it across the diamond for the 2nd out. And that's quickly 2 away for Harrison here in the 5th. Up to bat will be Max Scherzer, the left-hander, center fielder. Takes a strike on the outside corner. Scherzer, a junior. He'll take the 0-1, low outside corner for strike 2. 0-2 count for Harrison. He gets a swing and a miss, and that is strike 3, and that is a quick 1-2-3 frame for Harrison. He gets his 5th strikeout in the game. Strikeouts brought to you by Chris Hubbard, State Farm Insurance. Visit chrisinsures.com for a free quote today. That was a quick one right there. Top half of the 5th in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Roseburg leading 2-0. Looking to add to it here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
I've always handled my own finances, but I need help.
Get a better understanding of your finances. At Palm Wealth Management, we care about your priorities and help restore financial security. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
Mountain Mike's, pizza the way it ought to be.
Bottom of the fifth inning here on The Score and streaming with video online at 541radio.com. The online video stream brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. You can find us on our YouTube channel, streaming there. You can hit the subscribe button. Just search 1490 The Score on YouTube. You'll find our channel. Hit the subscribe button, and then you can set yourself up to know every time we go live with another Roseburg High sporting event. We'll have baseball throughout the spring, mix in a couple of softball games and a lacrosse game in there as well. Leading things off is Dane St. Clair. He heads on down to first for a quick meeting with Coach Tim Sester. Yesterday, we did have our first softball broadcast of the season. It was the first game of the season for softball. And the Roseburg softball team walking off with a win, an exciting one there. 4-3 over Sunset on their brand new artificial turf field that is there behind the football stadium at Roseburg High. Gorgeous field, gorgeous setting, and a great way to celebrate the first game of the season. Ground ball towards third base, long throw, and not going to be in time. Knocked it down, did Ian Colmer, but he can't get back to the baseball in time, and Dane St. Clair will get on safely. The Roseburg boys looking for their first win of the season. And right now leading 2-0, and St. Clair gets himself on. And there's one on with nobody out. Camden Hartzell had a single, the first hit of the game, in fact, had a single to right field. His last time up, he's 1 for 1 in the game. Takes a strike. The 0-1 for Hartzell with St. Clair, a decent lead. He's running. Ground ball goes to short. They are going to go to first instead. The throw by Laguerre in time to get Hartzell, but with St. Clair running on the pitch, that takes away that double play opportunity. And so Roseburg gets a man into scoring position. One away. Hartzell putting that ball in play. Grounds out. Laguerre to Scott for the put out. One down. And it's going to be Brayton Loomis to bat. Loomis, 0 for 2 in the game, reached on an error and grounded out to second in his 2 at-bats so far. Loomis takes right down the pipe from Stoyanov, who's into his second inning of work. 0-1 count. Second base is Dane St. Clair. High, 1-1. Brayton Loomis starting in left field here today. His first start of the year. Roseburg getting a couple of guys opportunities to see a little bit of action and continue to evaluate everybody on the team. Breaking ball ends up outside from Stoyanov. 2 balls and a strike for Loomis. Roseburg not a deep team, so they may just very well mix in guys throughout the season no matter what. Roseburg with 12 guys on the roster, so that means basically 2 guys in the dugout. The 2-1 pitch, low and outside. Goes to a 3-0 count. Dane St. Clair on with an error to start out this ball game, or excuse me, start out this half inning, the bottom of the 5th here. He's out at second base. Brayton Loomis at the plate with one out, a 3-1 count. Stoyanov. Fastball high, throw down to second base, won't get there in time. Back in safely goes St. Clair, and a walk issued to Loomis. Roseburg's done a nice job being observant at the plate. That is their fourth walk in the contest. First issued by Stoyanov. First and second for the Indians. Keegan Carpenter, he's put the ball in play twice, looking for his first hit. Gets that one in the air, out towards left center. That ball's going to carry. It goes over the center fielder. Scherzer can't get to it. Coming in to score will be St. Clair. Heading for third goes Loomis. It's a double to drive in another run for the senior Keegan Carpenter. Carpenter batting in the 7th spot, belts one over the outfielders' heads, carries to the alley a little bit there, and he has himself an RBI double. First start of the year for him. He's put the barrel on the ball 3 times, and this time finally drops it in for a hit. Drives in one. Roseburg's on top 3-0 over Ida B. Wells. Runners at second and third with just one out. Scoring was St. Clair from second. Loomis goes first to third. And standing up at second base, Keegan Carpenter with the run-scoring double. Roseburg on top 3-0. It prompts a visit out to the mound for the Wells coaching staff. Today's ball game brought to you by Flyaway Travel, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Visit out there. Taking a look here, we've got replays available to us here. See if I can do this quickly here for those that are watching online at 541radio.com. This is Keegan Carpenter with his RBI double. Into the alley between left and center. Harris and Scherzer went chasing. Scherzer the one to come up with it. Driving in St. Clair. Roseburg in control right now at 3-0. Some more activity going on in the bullpen for the Wells Guardians. Wells will play in a bit at third base here with less than 2 outs and runners at second and third. Up to bat's going to be Amos Bowers. He had a single and scored the first run of the game for Roseburg in the 4th inning. He is 1 for 1 in the game with a walk and a single. Takes on the outside corner for strike one. Bowers got on base. It was the courtesy runner that came around to score for Roseburg. That would have been Caden Austin. 0-1 pitch here for Stoyanov. Swung on and missed. Throw down to third. Not in time. And diving attempt by Colmer to make sure that ball did not get by as he had to dive over the top of Loomis there at third. Oh, 2 count for Amos Bowers. 1 out. Runners at second and third. Out at second base is Carpenter. At third base, Loomis. Pitch outside. Ball and 2 strikes here for Bowers. See somebody asking on the video stream if we're going to be doing the girls' softball doubleheader tomorrow. No, our plan is to travel to Lake Oswego to cover the Roseburg baseball game tomorrow. But we'll be having some more softball on throughout the season. A swing and a miss by Bowers. There's 2 away. Strikeout, much needed for Stoyanov. That's his first out of the bullpen.
Next batter, number 3, Heath King.
That'll bring up Heath King, the 9-hitter. King 0 for 2 in the game. Last time grounded 1 to first base. The first pitch. That ball belted down the right field side. That's going to carry. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble. It just goes foul. King got around on an inside pitch. Wasn't going to leave the yard, but it was going to make it to the fence line. It tucked away into the corner, just hooked into foul territory there. That'll be strike one for Heath King as he got around on that one. Our plan for the season, we're going to be following baseball like we normally do, but we want to mix in some of the girls' games in there when we get some opportunities to do so, and then possibly any postseason play if there's the opportunity to do so. As King will take a strike on the outside corner. 0-2 count. Still runners at second and third for Roseburg. Stoyanov sets. The 0-2 pitch. Got him on the breaking ball in the dirt. Throw down to first base will get King strike three. So that'll finish things off here in the bottom of the fifth, but Roseburg does get another. They add a little bit of insurance. They lead it 3-0. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. It was Keegan Carpenter with a big RBI double to get Roseburg another run. Head to the top of the sixth on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field, it is the 6th inning here. Roseburg leading 3-0. And the first batter up, Lucas Laguerre. First pitch swinging, rolls one to second base, 1 away. It'll be the lefty Shinyu Nakamura. Takes the first pitch for strike one. On the mound, dealing for Roseburg, Brevin Harrison here into his 6th inning of work. Just misses the outside corner for a 1-1 count. Harrison pitched 1 inning in relief in the opener against West Salem. Looked good. Thought he might be used more as a bullpen guy, but he's getting a chance to start here. Gets a ground ball right side. Burke to Carpenter, and there's 2 down. Nakamura will ground out for his first put out of the game. He walked his first time up back in the 3rd inning. Was caught stealing. So 2 down, nobody on. Top of the order here, Griffin Scott. This will start the 3rd time through the lineup here for Wells. Coming up next for the Wells Guardians, they'll be on the road at Lake Ridge next Tuesday. Breaking the action here. I don't see any substitutions or anything being made. It is Griffin Scott batting here. Ready to go for Harrison. Ground ball just poked into foul territory down the 3rd base side for Scott, who is 0 for 2 in the game. So Lake Ridge up next for Wells. That'll be Tuesday next week for them at 5:30. They're going to be playing in a spring break tournament down in Southern California in the San Diego area. There's an 0-1 pitch, fouled off again. Scott, an 0-2 count. That should be fun. Roseburg, as mentioned previously, they're going to be in Springfield for spring break. Bust out the flip-flops and the Hawaiian shirts. We're headed north. That ball belted, but well fouled down the 3rd base side, and that looked like it bounced off of somebody's automobile in the parking lot. 0-2 count with 2 down. Sunny day here. The sun is starting to make its way towards the horizon. Shadows are starting to cast out on the field as there's the strike 3 pitch. Hits the outside corner. And, man, Brevin Harrison is on a heater. He gets the strikeout looking the third, or another strikeout. It's the second for Griffin Scott in this one. And that is yet another 1-2-3 frame. In fact, that is 4 straight, make that 5 straight innings that Brevin Harrison has faced only 3 batters. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-0, Roseburg in front here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Remember the good old days? When you didn't have to make an appointment or wait in line for an hour just to talk to your teller? When businesses were local and gave back to the community? At Cascade Community Credit Union, there are some things will never change. We're the only credit union or bank headquartered in Douglas County, and making our members a priority has always been our priority. For easy and simplified banking, visit CCCU. No appointment, just come on in.
Now pitching number 12, Griffin Scott.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field, Brevin Harrison threw 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. Those strikeouts brought to you by Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance. New man on the mound, a call to the pen for Wells. They're going to make the move to Griffin Scott, who will move from first base to the mound. Takes over for Stoyanov. Scott, the co-pitcher of the year in the PIL last year. Taking over at first base will be Quinn Dufour. So that will be the switch up there. I'm guessing, let's see here. Dufour re-enters the game for his spot, which had been taken by Henry Stoyanov, and he moves to first base. So it'll be Dufour at first defensively, and it'll be Griffin Scott on the mound. Scott, a left-handed thrower. He'll be facing Brooks Avery to lead things off for Stoyanov. He pitches just 2 innings in relief. We'll get you more of his line here coming up. Bottom of the 6th, Roseburg in front, 3-0 here on the Score. I'm Joey Kieran. Great to be with you. First pitch swinging out of play, strike 1 for Avery, who picked up his first hit of the game, an RBI single back in the 4th. Part of a 2-run 4th inning that gave Roseburg the lead. The 0-1 pitch. Off speed, drops on the outside corner for strike 2. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. The 0-2, Avery lets it go outside. And today's game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel, 672-5701. A 1-2 count for the leadoff man, Brooks Avery, here in the 6th. Outside, Roseburg looking for any more insurance they can get. Live video stream up and running at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. Thanks to sponsorship from the Cow Creek Tribe. That ball, thought it hit the front foot. No, it'll be a playable ball. Throw to first, not in time. On safely. I thought that ball had hit the front foot of Avery. And it looks like they're going to have a conference to talk about whether that's the case. Just the way that ball came out of the box, that was my thought. But they let it play out, and maybe that's why Griffin Scott not as in big of a hurry to get to the baseball to throw out Avery at first. And the call's going to be safe. Nobody else seen anything. So the umpires go with the original call. That was a fair ball. That was a ball in play. And beating out an infield single will be Brooks Avery for his second hit of the day.
Next batter, number 15, Paxton Burke.
From up here, things can look a little different than they do down on the field, so I will definitely trust what's going on down there. Ball in the air for Burke, belted out towards shallow right field. It'll be Max Scherzer, the center fielder, that'll take the angle on it and make the play. One away, staying at first base is Avery. Roseburg with that hit, now 6 in the ball game. Up to bat, Jake Johnson, who was 0 for 2 with a walk. Pickoff throw to first base, not in time for Avery. Blazers basketball going to be coming up tonight at 7 o'clock. Portland, after a big win over the Atlanta Hawks yesterday, hosting the New York Knicks tonight. We'll have coverage in time for tip-off. High and away. 1-0 count to start off for Jake Johnson. So here within the next hour, we should be done and jump over to Blazers basketball coverage for you in time for the tip-off at 7 o'clock. Coverage with Travis Demers. Ball popped up for Jake. Out in the right field. And the right fielder, Roletto, underneath that one. 2 down. Double check here. Yeah, still Roletto out in right field. That is still Scherzer in center. And that is Harris in left field. Dane St. Clair up to bat. A toss over to first base. Sliding back in goes Avery head first. Colmer still at third. We told you Dufour took over at first defensively. Pickoff throw again. Runner going. The throw to second. Not in time. In safely goes Avery. He's been aggressive early. That's his 3rd stolen base of the season. He swipes second there. Gets into scoring position with 1 away. Sorry, make that 2 away. So into scoring position goes Avery at the plate. Dane St. Clair with waiting on the first pitch. Doesn't have a count yet. That ball in for a strike. Pops out of the glove for Hammer behind the plate. So Avery, a stolen base, his first of the day today. Had 2 on Tuesday against West Salem. They want to be aggressive on the bases. The 0-1 swung on and missed with the off-speed breaking ball there for St. Clair. He'll take a short trip to clear his mind and head back to the left-handed batter's box. Lefty versus lefty matchup here. Scott trying to finish off the 6th inning with a runner in scoring position. The 0-2 pitch. Grounder, a weak one, first base side, gets past the pitcher, charging, bare hand, no, can't make the play. Avery is going to hold that third. On safely will go Dane St. Clair. If I'm ruling that one, I'd say a hit on that one. A bare hand play, had to make it do or die there for Weinberg at second base, and well, they didn't make the play. I'm going to say a base hit for St. Clair. Little dribbler towards second, puts runners on the corners. 2 down. Camden Hartzell's 1 for 2 in the game with a walk in there as well. Facing Scott for the first time. High and away. Roseburg trying to add some insurance before the 7th inning coming up. Camden Hartzell grounds one, third base side, gets into left field past a diving Colmer, and a run will come in. 4-0 Roseburg in front on the RBI single by Camden Hartzell. Up to second goes St. Clair. Scoring was Avery. And Roseburg in front 4-0, 2 down. A little 2-out rally going here. Hartzell with his second hit of the game. Brayton Loomis will try to get on base for a 3rd time. He's reached on an error and a walk. Loomis will take high and away. So Roseburg right now, we expected to see some pretty decent arms here today. Roseburg doing a good job putting the ball in play and just trying to make this Wells team play some defense. Swing and a miss out of Loomis. Loomis with a 1-1 count. At first base is Hartzell. St. Clair at second. In the air, right side. Foul territory out of play. Giving up on it will be Dufour. That'll be strike 2. Yeah, it looks like the only defensive change we've had, so just trying to look through the peepers and confirm everything. The only change defensively was Griffin Scott going to the mound and Dufour taking over at first base for him. A 1-2 pitch to Loomis. On the hands, fouled off. Yeah, early in the season here, there's a lot that everybody's trying to kind of get into a rhythm with, but I really haven't been impressed with the way Roseburg has done at the plate, being aggressive and putting the barrel on the ball. Foul tip into the glove, strike 3. Scooped out behind the plate by Hammer there. Nice play to make for the final out here in the 6th. But Roseburg adds another run. They're on top 4-0 as we go to the 7th inning. That is the first strikeout for Scott in his 1 inning of work so far. For Roseburg, 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. Go to the top of the 7th inning. Roseburg looking for 3 outs to finish it off here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Go to the top of the 7th, first batter for the Guardians, number 21.
It'll be Quinn Dufour to lead things off for Wells here in the 7th inning against Brevin Harrison, who will look to go for a complete game victory. Missing outside on the first pitch to Dufour, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Outside corner this time, just a hair inside of the last mark for a strike. 1-1 count as we welcome you back. Top of the 7th here, Roseburg leading 4-0. Low and outside, 2-1 count. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop, and by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. The 2-1 pitch. Ooh, a hair outside, 3-1 count. Harrison out of his windup. Righty versus lefty matchup, issues ball 4. Well, that'll be just the second walk of the game for Brevin Harrison. 1 on. For Wells, exactly what they needed to start out things here in the 7th, trailing by 4 runs, looking to try and get back into this one. Harrison gets a strike across at the knees on the first offering now to the 3-hitter, Cam Hammer. Hammer in the game 0 for 2, struck out swinging his last time at the dish. Outside. This is the 3rd time through the lineup here for Wells. One count. Harrison bounces it in front of the plate. Longest outing for him, and last year for Brevin Harrison, he threw, let's see here, last year 15 2/3 innings. So he wasn't used heavily as a pitcher. This is by far his longest outing of his career in a Roseburg uniform. The 2-1 pitch, swung on, and I think foul tipped into the glove there. Two count. Ooh, just outside to take the count full. At first base, Quinn Dufour tried to steal in his first time on base, not trying to be that aggressive here as they trail by 4 and need base runners. Don't want to give up the opportunity to have someone on base by getting caught stealing. Stays a full count here as Hammer fouled off that last pitch. Harrison out of the stretch, nobody out, 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base, picked up by Jake. Throws to Burke, throw to first. Oh, not in time. So close at first base. Just a hair behind Hammer, who beats out the throw. He'll get on with the fielder's choice. They go the long way around the horn. Hammer will get on. Dufour out at second on the 5-4 put out. Almost a double play to clear the bases. One away. Still, they get the lead runner. The cleanup man, Cody Roletto, batting. 0 for 2 in the game. Takes low. Double play executed perfectly. Just needed to be a hair faster. The 1-0 pitch hits the outside edge for a called strike. Small lead at first base for Hammer. Roletto at the dish, a 1-1, bounces in front of the plate. The runners all hold. The runner holds at first. Hammer, they don't bring in a courtesy runner for the catcher. Hammer stays out there. 1-1 count. Sorry, make that a 2-1 count. Strike hits the top of the zone, inside half. Up underneath the elbows there for Roletto. 2-2 pitch, top of the 7th. Got him to chase that one off the plate. It will go foul down the third base side. Trying to protect the plate. Roletto swinging after that one. Slammed it off the dish and towards home, or towards the home dugout down the third base side for Roseburg. 2-2 again here for Harrison. Just off the edge. Brevin trying to finish things off for Roseburg here in the 7th inning. The 3-2 pitch. Line drive just past a diving Jake Johnson into left field as Roletto will come up with a base hit. Just the second hit of the game for Wells. Hammer makes his way to second. Roletto on at first. This is the first time that Wells has had runners on base since back in the 3rd inning. As a visit out to the mound here. A 1-out walk issued to Shinyu Nakamura in the 3rd inning was the last time that Wells had a base runner before this 7th inning. And he was caught stealing. Next batter struck out looking. It was still 3 up, 3 down in that 3rd inning for Wells. That was right in the middle of 5 straight innings where Wells only sent 3 hitters to the plate. They'll get 3 up there this inning, make it 4 as Ian Colmer will step to the plate. Colmer, the 3rd baseman.
Next batter, number 10, Ian Colmer.
Colmer is 0 for 2 in the game. Takes a strike on the opening pitch of the at-bat. 1 out, runners at first and second. A 4-0 lead for Roseburg. The Indians trying to wrap it up here. Harrison. Pepper in the strike zone. Hits it in on the corner. Oh-2 count. Line drive Going to drop into center field. That'll break up the scoreless game for Wells. 1 run comes in. Still just 1 out here in the 7th. Wells gets their first run of the season on a 1-out single by Ian Colmer. His 3rd time through the lineup, Wells starting to see the baseball a little bit cleaner. 1st and 2nd. Still 1 out, 1 run in.
New batter, number 13, Simon Edwards.
Going to bring up a new batter for Justin Weinberg here in the 6th spot in the lineup card. He's a lefty. Batting is going to be Simon Edwards, a senior. Edwards' opportunity here. He represents the game-tying run. Roseburg does have some activity in their bullpen. Can't catch a number for you. As a pitch to the lefty, high and away. A 1-0 count. Edwards takes low and outside. Camden Hartzell throwing in the bullpen for Roseburg. The 2-0 from Harrison. That time catches the zone over the heart of the plate at the knees. Long outing here for Brevin. Looking to find some little bit of gas left in the tank. He gets a swing and a miss out of Edwards for strike 2. He needs 2 more outs. Would love a double play ground ball here. A 2-2 pitch. Edwards swings and misses. And that'll be the 2nd out of the frame. It is another Chris Hubbard State Farm Insurance strikeout for Brevin Harrison. That is number 7 on the day. 2 down, and he needs 1 more. It'll be Max Scherzer to stand in with runners at 1st and 2nd. Outside to the lefty. Harrison's 1-0 pitch. Outside edge of the plate for a strike. At second base, Cody Roletto, Ian Colmer at first. After back-to-back singles for those two, ball fouled off at the plate by Scherzer. He's down to a 1-2 count. A walk, fielder's choice, back-to-back singles, 1 run in here in the 7th for Wells, but Roseburg looking for the first win. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3, got him, and Roseburg's going to win this one 4-1 on a heck of a performance by Brevin Harrison. 8 strikeouts in the game, and he seals the deal with a backwards K. Roseburg is a winner. 4-1. They get the first of the season as they take down the number 9 team in the preseason coaches poll. Big win for the Indians. Final 4-1 over Wells. We'll come back and look at the numbers after this timeout. Roseburg, a winner at home today for the first time this season. We'll take the 3-minute timeout. Come back with your post-game show to get you a quick wrap-up here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Looking for more local sports coverage?
CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here at Champion Car Wash Field in Roseburg, where the Indians are winners for the first time in 2024. They take down the Wells Guardians. Came in with some preseason expectations, ranked number 9 in the coaches poll. Roseburg able to hand them a loss in their season opener. Roseburg improves to 1-1 on the year. Wells will go to 0-1 on the season. Your final numbers here: 1 run on 3 hits, 3 errors, and 3 men left on base for Wells. For Roseburg, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and 11 men left on. Much better than the season opener, where Roseburg committed 5 errors in the contest. Roseburg gets the go-ahead run in the 4th inning. They score twice off of reliever Henry Stoyanov. A 1-out single by Amos Bowers got him on base. Caden Austin took over running for the catcher, and he would come around to score on a 2-out single by Brooks Avery, and then Avery would score on a 2-out double by Paxton Burke, and that got Roseburg 2 runs on the board. The Indians added 1 in the 5th. Dane St. Clair gets on an error to start things off in the 5th inning and would score on a 1-out double by Keegan Carpenter, who gets his first hit and first RBI in a varsity jersey. Roseburg adds 1 more in the 6th inning as they would take a 4-0 lead. It was a leadoff infield single for Brooks Avery, got him on base. Then a couple of pop outs or fly ball outs. Dane St. Clair able to get on with an infield single. And then Camden Hartzell drives in another insurance run for Roseburg with a single through the left side of the infield. RBI single there for Hartzell on his 2nd hit of the game. Roseburg led 4-0, and they left it in the hands of Brevin Harrison, who goes the distance for the win. He gives up 1 run on 2 hits in the 7th inning. Back-to-back singles by Cody Roletto and Ian Colmer brought in a run. Colmer driving in that run, but back-to-back strikeouts to finish off the game for Harrison as he picks up the win 4-1. Brevin Harrison goes 7 innings, gave up 1 run on 3 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 8. What a fantastic performance. He faced 4 batters in the 1st inning, gave up a 1-out single to Quinn Dufort, and then after that, in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, the Guardians never sent more than 3 hitters to the plate. In the 3rd inning, they got a runner on base, but he was caught stealing. That was Nakamura. And with that, that made it possible for Harrison to only face 3 hitters that inning, and he did so with a strikeout against Griffin Scott to finish it off. And he faced just the minimum through those next couple of innings. Finally, in the 7th, the 3rd time through the lineup, Wells started to find a little bit of success. They got the first 4 hitters on base, a walk, a fielder's choice, and out at second base, then back-to-back singles, but they could not overcome the 4-0 deficit, and they could not touch Brevin Harrison in the end. Only 3 hits for the Guardians in this one here today. What a performance for Brevin. Brevin will pick up his first win on the mound in a varsity uniform. He didn't have a win last year, so that's his first varsity victory pitching for Roseburg. Taking a look at some offensive numbers here today for Wells, not a lot of success. Quinn Dufour had a single in his first at-bat, ends up going 1 for 2 with a walk. Cam Hammer got on with a fielder's choice, scored a run. Ends up 0 for 3, though. Cody Roletto goes 1 for 3 with a single. Ian Colmer 1 for 3 with a RBI single and a strikeout. And that is about it for the Guardians in this one. On the other side for Roseburg, collecting 8 hits in the ball game, 2 for 4 for Brooks Avery. A couple of singles, had an RBI, scored twice. Paxton Burke goes 1 for 4 with an RBI double. Let's see here. Dane St. Clair goes 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored. Camden Hartzell was 2 for 3 in the game with an RBI single and a walk. Keegan Carpenter goes 1 for 3 with an RBI double. Amos Bowers 1 for 2 with a walk and a single and a run scored. That was Caden Austin that scored that run. So that is a look at some of the numbers, but more importantly, Roseburg really did a good job of putting the bat on the ball and making Wells have to make plays here today. They may not have all been hits, but they made them work for it. Nice game here today for Roseburg. Good bounce back after the season opener went a little awry on them. So, they definitely wanted to see that they could play better, and they showed it here today that they can. Hopefully a momentum builder into tomorrow's matchup when they take on another team in the preseason coaches poll. Tomorrow it is Lake Oswego, who is a little bit higher up in the poll than number 9. I want to say they were like top 4, but I can't remember exactly if maybe they were top 2 or not. But anyways, they're up there, and they're expected to be a really good team. And Roseburg will be no, they are number 2. There, I have it written down right there if I just look at my notes. Number 2, Lake Oswego tomorrow for Roseburg at 5 o'clock. We'll have pregame coverage starting at 4:45 for you coming up tomorrow from Lake Oswego. We're going to wrap things up there for the broadcast here. Don't forget, we've got Blazers basketball coming up for you here in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that coming up once we sign off here on the broadcast of Roseburg baseball. I want to say thanks to the Wells Guardians for making the trip down here today. Great ball game played by both sides. Thanks to the Cow Creek Tribe for sponsoring our video stream of Roseburg baseball here on The Score. I want to say thanks to Athletic Director Adam Blue, Head Coach Troy Thompson, and the entire Roseburg baseball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on The Score. Big thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here today. And as always, thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for today's broadcast. Because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll talk to you tomorrow when Roseburg makes the trek north to the Portland area to take on Lake Oswego. The Lakers and the Indians will be going at it at 5 o'clock tomorrow night. We'll have coverage starting at 4:45 for you. You can find the action streaming live with video online at 541radio.com or find it right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.